Hello, I'm Lorianne Lumby with Soul School, and this is Soul Lessons. Our lesson in this episode is about the adversary. This happens to be perhaps my favorite lesson in exploring and coming to understand the evolution and the journey of the soul. The adversary, from a religious perspective, has been given names such as Satan, the Shaitan, Lucifer, Beelzebub. All of these are personifications of an internal process that is universal and has really nothing to do with the dude in the red tights with the horns and the pitchfork baling hay in hell. The adversary instead is an internal process. It is the natural unfolding of resistance, the resistance that is necessary for our soul's development and our soul's growth. This resistance comes forward in a number of ways. One might be in what religion has called temptation. Those impulses inside of us that urge us to act in ways that are non-loving, either towards ourselves or towards others. These impulses are meant to be resisted. Resisted in the sense that our truest nature is love. And our highest nature is to act and respond from a place of love, to live from love. But that adversary within us causes us to question those loving actions. Shouldn't we strive after riches? Hasn't it been modeled to us that deception is a way to get ahead? Shouldn't we eat whatever we want to eat? Shouldn't we drink whatever we want to drink? Isn't life just meant to be consumed? As we begin to identify and understand this natural impulse to act in non-loving ways, we can make a choice. We can choose not to act in non-loving ways, or we can respond to that impulse and suffer the natural consequences of going against our soul's natural evolution, which is towards love. This resistance also shows up as a result of our conditioning. The voices of the shoulds, all of the ways in which we've been told we should act, we should be, we should look, we should dress in order to be loved. It is the voice that has been conditioned inside of us that tells us that love has to be earned and that there is always a threat that love can be taken away. In the most dangerous sense, this conditioning has been projected onto that which we might call God, setting us up like the Adam and Eve, the mythological Adam and Eve, to fail. We are here being human, living a human life. And simply by nature of our being, we are loved. But our conditioning has taught us otherwise. That inner adversary tempts us to believe those inner voices of critique, criticism, condemnation, judgment. That inner voice has conditioned us to believe in those threats of punishment and to act accordingly. But this inner voice does not lead us to freedom. Instead, it imprisons us, keeps us small, keeps us contained, keeps us compliant, keeps us chained to the status quo. But the soul does not want that. The soul wants freedom. The soul wants to live the life that we were intended to live. The soul wants us to know love, wants us to know joy. It wants us to experience a sense of fulfillment and meaning in our own unique giftedness. That presence of the adversary also shows up in voices of confusion and doubt. We live in a world that conditions us away from listening to the true inner authority that is inside of us. There is no external authority, someone outside of us that knows better who we are or what we need or want in our life. We are our own inner authority. That adversary, because of our conditioning, tempts us to doubt that inner voice, tempts us to be confused when that inner voice compels us to move along a path that might be outside of how we've been conditioned. That voice, that inner true voice that invites us to leave imprisonment behind, to walk away from the bounds of compliance and obedience to some external authority. That inner adversary causes us to question and doubt our own truth because of our conditioning. That inner adversary also works on us from the outside, putting people in our path that criticize and condemn us, that reject us, that tell us that our ideas for our life are crazy, or to tell us that they will withdraw their love if we choose that path, or will be banished or ostracized. All of these are examples of the voice of the adversary. It is a natural part of our soul's development, presenting us with the resistance that we need to grow. That adversary might be likened to the shell of a seed, how the inner meat of that seed needs the shell to create the resistance that it needs to grow. That inner meat, as it is germinating and growing, has to push its way through the shell. And then it has to push its way through rock and soil and dirt. All of this strengthens the plant that it might be resilient against wind and sun and water as it reaches through the ground to the light. This is the job, the task of the inner adversary. And our invitation is to embrace the presence of the adversary and to gather tools around us to identify it and to find our way through its resistance. This is Lori Ann Lumbie with Soul School. This was Soul Lessons. If you found this to be helpful, enjoyable, worthwhile, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please share this video with your friends and family. If you want to learn more about the services and programs that we offer at Soul School, please visit our website, www.loriannlumbie.com, and the link is listed below. Thank you.